Well, hello again, everybody. Welcome back to Firewood at the Furnace. My name is Brad, and as you saw, we just took out the 8-way wedge and we dropped in the 12-way wedge for the Eastonmade EVO firewood processor. We're going to be running some bigger stuff today than we've run so far through this machine, so we'll see how the 12-way works out. I've got some nice poles to put on there that are about 12 to 14, maybe 15 inches in diameter, which I think will be work really well with the 12-way wedge. Now, before you all give me a bunch of grief on here, yes, I know that I should not be standing outside the skid loader running it. This is probably a two-man operation, switching these big heavy-duty wedges out on this machine, but I'm here by myself today, so I was standing outside the machine lowering the wedge into its situation place there. So yeah, don't give me too much grief. I know I should be asking for help once in a while. But anyway, the 12-way wedge is in there. I put some, the top of those wedges have that wing over the top that's got a nice piece of steel there with a hole in it that I was able to put a shackle in. I'm just going to leave that shackle in the top of these wedges because I can use the tow chains that came with my 1222, hook right to that shackle, put them on the skid loader, and it lifted out of there and dropped down in there. Really easy doing it that way. So I'm just going to leave the shackles in there. I'll show you that here on the video what I did, but that's what we're doing today. So we're going to run some 12-way action through the Eastonmade EVO. Stick around. So if you had not seen it, we did pull the conveyor off the pile there a little bit. We moved everything forward, so you can see we're starting a little bit a newer part of the pile here. But for those of you who were wondering about the pintle hook and how it worked out, it worked really well. I put a shorts video out that I'll show you here of it moving forward. But as I lowered the front of the EVO down, it picked right up on the bottom of the conveyor, and I was able to pull it forward with no problem at all using the skid loader. Once I got it in position, I raised the front of the EVO back up so the machine would be level, which in turn put the conveyor right back down on the ground. So that works out really, really well. So if you're thinking about purchasing an EVO and you already have an Eastonmade conveyor, that is something that I would definitely look into because it works flawlessly. All right, so the first four logs that I put on here, those two shorter ones in the middle are about 14 inches. This one here is about 16, and this one here on the end is about 17 in diameter. So we'll push it through the 12-way wedge. Remember, this machine is a gas-powered EVO with a 30-ton cylinder on it. So as you're watching it run here, just keep that in mind. It's not the diesel version. The diesel version is obviously a lot more horsepower, but I think it's going to do just fine with that 30-ton cylinder pushing it through the 12-way wedge, and we're going to find out right now. So that's not too bad for less than an hour's worth of splitting. Remember, we just moved the conveyor up, so all this fresh maple that we just split, that's all what we just did in less than an hour. The 12-way worked really well. I think that 16 and 17-inch diameter pieces there in the beginning were a little bit too big. I had to resplit some of that, which wasn't a big deal. I just caught it as it came out of the EVO there and threw it back in the chamber and split it again. But the 12 to 14 inch pieces is the sweet spot, I think, for that 12-way wedge. So that's roughly about 2 cord of wood we just split. I'm going to grab some more logs and put on here as well. But I just wanted to show you the first run of the 12-way there. I know you've seen it on Mike Morgan's channel. He's running his 12-way now, but he's got the diesel version of this machine. So I wanted you to see the 12-way with the gasoline version of this machine. And I'll be honest with you, it had no trouble at all. Of course, the 30-ton cylinder is a big deal. I'm sure it makes a big difference. But I'm kind of wondering now about a 16-way wedge. I don't know if I'll ever need a 16-way wedge, because most of the logs that we get that are processor worthy, that would be bigger than that 14 to 15 inch mark, would probably be good sawmill logs. But I am pondering it in my mind now if I should order a 16-way wedge or not. So that's it for today. The 12-way wedge worked really well. We're going to keep splitting. We got a few more logs. The pile is dwindling down. Going to have to start getting some more wood in here soon. But I've got to switch gears now because I've got to deliver 40 bundles to the retail store today. They called yesterday and they said they wanted it today. Not much notice there, but we'll make it happen for them. And we've also got work for the grapple truck. So we're going to wrap it up here. Hope you enjoyed today's video. We will see you next Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. Drop a comment down below and let me know what you think. Till next week, everybody, have a great week and take care.